So good morning, everybody. Just sit on something so that you can get a bit of height to allow your knees descend. So the inner groins need to be able to soften. So take more height if you need. Draw your buttocks flesh not only back but out to the sides. So you find your sitting bones. Lean forward a little as you do so. Keep leaning forward. Keep your hands there. Lift your chest and then release your hands. And then bring your knees a bit closer towards each other and your shins further forward. So you end up with your feet below your knees. Use your hands to hold onto your knees as you roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest. Just feel that your chin is parallel to the floor by settling your eyes on something in front of you, not to the floor. Soften your gaze. Bring your hands into Namaskarasana. Just gently pressing your hands from the heel of the palm to each fingertip. And then gently lower the upper eyelid down. And as you do so, allow your eyes to soften. Let your eyes settle away from the eyelids. And let your mouth be soft, the lips full and but soft. Lift your chest a little bit more and then roll your shoulders back even more, broadly releasing your shoulder blades down your back. And just become aware of your breath. A cool breath that's entering in through the nostrils, spiraling in. And as it leaves the body through the nostrils, slightly warmer over the top lip. Empty your lungs completely. Inhale. Keeping your eyes closed and your chest lifted. We'll do the 3 Oms as silent Om sounds now. I'd just like you to just follow the sound and the vibration that would be there with the intention of making it without the vibration actually coming out. So you won't hear it. And just being aware that the owl sound starts right at the base, the root chakra, that will follow it up towards the middle or the solar plexus, and the all the way up to the top, releasing out the top of the head. We'll do 3 of those together, and then when we finish the 3, you can just release your head to your heart. So inhale, exhale deeply, and then inhale, start the first Om. When you don't have your head released to your heart, just have a moment to make your own inner acknowledgements. Release your hands when you're ready. Palms facing up, head down. Slowly start to open your eyes. And then raise your head. Take your support off the mat and come stand up for the sun salutation. So you can just warm up and loosen up a bit. Come to the front edge of your mat. And stand with your feet together, standing completely upright. Roll your shoulders back and extend down into your fingers. Take your shoulders back. So again, the chin is parallel to the floor. Just soften your gaze, looking forward. And now allow your front thighs to tighten and press back, moving the weight to the heel side without lifting your toes. Keep your front thighs pressing back. So they are now pressing back, so the kneecaps are into the joints. They're supported. Even the inner thighs are moving back. And now allow your abdomen to broadly spread back. And at the same time, taking your front ribs towards the back body. The front ribs spreading towards the back body. Shoulders back, still lifting your chest. And now lengthen the back of your arms down towards the floor. So in this position, we should be standing, being able to find our middle, our center line. Inhale, take your arms up, reach up, look up. And then exhale, come halfway into Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips to the shins of the floor and look forward. Just pause here and breathe as you lengthen the front of your body. Inner thighs still moving back. The more you look forward, the more you're able to flatten your upper back. Move your shoulders back away from your ears. Come up higher if you need to. If you need to come up higher onto your shins, you can. Don't press on your knees. If you need to come up even higher than that, come above the knees. Bend your legs, step back with your right, so into the high lunge position. Your back leg is completely straight. Be on your fingertips and look forward. Press your hands flat into the floor and step back with your feet apart, heels off the ground. Just bring your head in line with your arms. So you're looking down to the floor, spread your fingers. Bend your right leg, straighten your left leg. Press your left heel back and down. Keep your breath flowing. And now bend your left, straighten your right. Keep moving your chest in the direction of your legs, so towards your legs. Bend your right, straighten your left. Bend your left, straighten your right. Bend both legs. Stay on the balls of your feet and now move your chest closer towards your legs. The abdomen moving closer towards the thighs. And now slowly take your heels back and down. Bring your ears in line with your upper arms again. Looking down to the floor, your arms are straight. Reach up into your sitting bones. And then move your weight forward so that your shoulders are above your hands into the plank. Completely straighten your arms. Feel the muscles wrapping and attaching to the bone. Let your front thighs lift strongly up away from the floor. Let your abdomen spread broadly back towards your spine. And then bend your elbows, bring your chest through your arms into Ardha Uttanasana, upward facing dog. Take your shoulders back. Press down on the top of your feet. Let the inner upper arms roll out to the sides. Shoulders back. And then roll over your toes. Ardha Uttanasana again. Heels down now. Just to where they get to. Lengthening the back of the legs. So the bottom of the calves reaching down towards the heels. And from the middle of the calf all the way up towards the sitting bones, lifting up. Look forward, step forward, far forward with your right foot. And then your left with your feet apart now. Bend your knees, come up into the fierce Uttanasana. Strong, stable, breathing. Straighten your arms. And then inhale, come up. Join your hands on your feet. And exhale, hands into Namaskarasana. Release your hands. And stand as we stood just now in Tadasana. The front of the body moving to the back body. Chest lifted. Back of the arms lengthening down to the floor. And the spine lifting up towards the top of the head. Inhale, take your arms up, look up. And exhale, come over into Ardha Uttanasana. So looking forward. Creating the length and the space to the front of your body. Bend and step back with your left leg. So come into the high lunge on the left side, look forward. The catches in your neck, just look down to the floor. And now strongly lift that left thigh up away from the floor. And then step back into Ardha Uttanasana, heels and off the ground, feet apart. Reach up into your sitting bones. Keep your ears next to your upper arms. Inhale deeply. And exhale, take your heels back and down. Move your chest closer towards the legs. Keeping your head in line with your upper arms. So the inner upper arms are moving up towards the ceiling. The outer arms are moving down towards the floor. But keeping pressure on your thumbs. Come forward into a plank. Then upward dog, Ardha Uttanasana. Press on the top of your feet and lift your thighs. Slide your chest through your arms. Take your shoulders back. Outer arms back. Outer arms rolling out. And then roll over your toes. Ardha Uttanasana. Downward facing dog. Let your heels be down towards the floor now. Straight legs. Look forward and bring your left foot far forward. And then your right with your feet apart. Come up into Uttanasana. Bend knees. Straight arms. Lift your chest. Inhale, bring your feet together in your hands. Exhale, palms to your chest. And then release your hands. And stand again 1 moment in Tadasana as we started. Weight onto the heel side. Lift your chest as you lengthen the back of your arms down to the floor. So hopefully we're slightly warmer. I'll just do a couple of standing poses before we do some balancing standing poses. If you have blocks, take them to the back edge of your mat. If you don't have blocks, take a chair. I'll quickly demonstrate. Some of us may not need the blocks. So we're going to go into Uttita Parshvakonasana, where the hand goes onto the block, or you've got the chair behind you, where you can hold onto the seat or the rung of the chair. So just get whatever prop you may need there. You can also build up the yoga foams, have 2 or 3 yoga foams behind you, if you don't have the blocks. And then come stand with your feet apart, hands on your hips. Just see that you're in the middle of your mat, so we're not using the back edge of the mat now. Take your arms out to the sides, lift your chest. Turn your right foot out all the way to 90 degrees, turn your back foot in. Inhale and exhale, make a right angle. So press into your back foot as you bend the front leg. You're going to your right leg is bent. Straighten the back leg. Keep your chest facing forward for now, spreading out your collarbones towards your fingertips. Press firmly down into the outer edge of that back foot. And this right knee, you need to bring it back in line with the outer right hip. It tends to want to move forward. Move it back. And now inhale. And exhale, take your hand over onto the support, the other hand onto the hip. Just look down at the support, pause here. Don't lose that integrity in the back leg. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. That inner thigh, inner leg moves up, hits up away from the floor of that back leg. And now pressing firmly onto the floor or your support. Roll your chest, pulling back into your elbow. Revolving your chest up to the ceiling. Take your head back. And now extend your fingers down to the floor. Bend your arm and bring that arm up and overhead. Straighten that arm. Revolve your chest. See if you can sink down a little lower into that bent leg side. Revolve your chest and look up to the ceiling. Breathing. The Uttita Parshvakonasana. Keep straightening the back leg. Bring the arm forward and up. Warrior 2, come all the way up, straighten your legs. So just a variation if you need this. It's good to know. Any hip problems, you can go onto a chair like that. That helps as well. And then still going over, holding onto the chair, the run, and then coming over. So just know there's that variation. So turn your left foot out to 90 degrees now. Turn your back foot in slightly. Arms stretching out. Inhale and exhale, make a right angle to your left. Focusing on this knee that comes across the midline of the body. Take it back in line with your outer left hip. Take it back even more. See if you can drop down a little more. Just bearing in mind you want this knee above that ankle, so not going beyond that. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, take your hand onto the block, the other hand onto the hip. Straighten your back leg, and now press that bent knee into that arm. Press it so it's moving back again in line with that outer left hip. With that action, you're able to now turn your chest. So use it as a fulcrum for turning. Revolve even more. Bring the arm up and over, stretching into your fingers. And breathe. See if you can turn your head to look up towards the roof or sky, wherever you are. Breathing. Pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. And still pressing that bent knee against that arm that's on the support. Bring the arm forward and up into Warrior 2. Inhale, come up, straighten your legs, turn your feet to the front. Jump your feet together. And stand for a moment. in Tadasana. For this next one, some of us may need a wall to balance. So Vrikshasana is the tree. You need something where you can just touch your fingertips too, that you've got there when you go, if you need to balance, because you're going to lift the leg up. So if you feel a little bit unstable, there's something there. But stand with your feet together. You can see me. So feet together, stand again in Tadasana. So as we started, let the front of the body move to the back body. Take your shoulders back. Pause for a moment and let your eyes settle in front of you, not down to the floor. As we lose our balance. Shoulders back, eyes softening. And now bend your right leg so that your foot is off the floor, still looking forward. Completely tighten and straighten that left leg. So you're standing on your left leg, your right leg is bent. Lift the knee up higher. Keep lifting your chest. And now take the hand onto the front of the ankle and bring the heel up high into the inner thigh of that left thigh. Press the heel and hold it there for a moment. Press the heel into that inner left thigh. The toes are pointing down. And at the same time, press the outer left hip in towards the inner hip. So you can feel the leg compressing against that foot and the foot pressing into that thigh. So let your eyes stay focused in the front. Soften your eyes. Take your hands out to your sides. Lift your chest. And now inhale, slowly take your arms up, lifting the sides of the waist up, the chest up. Just keep your arms parallel, looking forward. Soften your eyes, breathing. So any shoulder complaints, keep your hands apart. Otherwise, take your palms and press them together. Straighten your arms. Turn your palms out. Use an exhalation to release your hands down to the sides and release your foot to the floor. Now raise your left leg, so you're standing on your right. Balance. Bend, lift your leg a little bit higher, lift your chest. And now grab the front of that ankle, press it into that inner right thigh. Take the knee back, take the bent knee back and line with the hip. Keep looking forward, keep your eyes soft. Firm up that standing leg. Inhale, take your arms all the way up. Keep your chest lifting. Feel the sides of the body lifting up. Feel the front of the body lifting up. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. Join your hands if you can. Eyes soft. Bent knee back in line with that hip. Turn your palms out and then use an exhalation to bring your hands down and release your foot down. Stand again completely upright, lifting your chest. Back of the arms lengthening down to the floor. Just remember, if you need to at any stage unmute your mic for any questions or concerns. The next one, so Vrikshasana, that's the tree, which we've just done. The next standing balancing one is Uttanasana. So Garuda is an eagle. So you can use a block if you need to, or foams or blankets. I'll just demonstrate. You'll be standing on your left leg, and then you have to bend your leg. I'll show you from both sides, and you entwine. Sorry, let me put that on that side. So you bend the leg. You entwine the leg around, so bring it around the calf, and then you bend down. Oops. You bend, you keep lifting your chest, and then I'll instruct you which arm is going to go over the top. So if you can't get your foot to entwine around here, you can have a blanket or foams or something so you can press into. So it is a balancing one. It takes a lot of concentration. But the trick is also to keep your eyes soft and to breathe. So stand with your feet together. Just bring your hands to your hips for now. Keep lifting your chest. Bend both legs. And now bring your right leg and swing it all the way over on top of your left leg and behind. So the calf, the foot comes behind, moves down on the back of that leg. Keep bending both legs. Just hold and breathe. We'll add in the arms in a bit. So now is when you can see if you need a block there or something to put this foot on. So release. Keep your hands to the hips. Bend both legs. And now bring your left leg on top of your right leg. Bend. Bend even more. It helps to bend so you can slide that foot behind you even further down. So the more you bend, you can get that foot lower. Use the wall if you need to, or the back of a chair. Keep lifting your chest, elbows back, and then come all the way up. So we'll add in the arm action, and it's literally just crossing one arm over and then entwining. So some of us may not be able to entwine like that. You just go to where your personal maximum is. If it catches too much in your shoulders, you could go like this, or just keep your hands on your hips. Okay, so feet together again. Take your hands to your hips. Bend your legs. And now bring your left leg up. Entwine it. Keep both legs bent. Bend down lower. Looking forward. So as we did in the tree pose. As soon as I looked down, it started to wobble. So look forward. So now when your left leg is on top, your left arm goes under, the right arm on top, and entwine. Hold and breathe. Let your gaze go softly beyond the hands to the other side of the ring. Keep breathing. See if you can bend a little lower. They're like wings that are wrapped, the legs are wrapped. Slowly undo your wings, undo your legs, stand up. A nice deep breath, breath in and out, standing tall. Bend your legs again, hands to your hips, lift your chest. And now bring your right leg up and over the left one. Creep the toes onto the calf and then even onto the inside of the calf. See if you can bend a little lower. So now with your right knee on top, then your right arm goes underneath, your left arm goes on top. Entwine. I'm doing the mirror image of you. So just listen for those instructions. Reach your palms up a little higher if you can. Take them away from your face. Keep your gaze soft. And then release and stand tall. Stand again for a moment in Tadasana. So that's quite a fun one to practice. The children love it as well, so if you've got any kids around, let them have a go at that. Just come to release down in Ardha Uttanasana. Come to the front edge of your mat. Jump back or step back lightly. Keep your eyes open. Excuse me. really reach up into your sitting bones here. That's it. Just keep your head next to your upper arms as you reach up even higher into your sitting bones. And now relax your neck so that the top of the head faces down to the floor. So you're looking back between your feet. And here's where, if you can see your inner ankles, you can see your inner ankles, just move them out slightly. And just to keep the energy levels up, raise your head, look forward, jump forward lightly between your hands and your feet together. Look forward, so back into Ardha Uttanasana. Hands on your shins or to the floor. Take your arms forward and up, reach up, and then exhale, take your arms to the sides. So for those practicing the head balance, we're going to go into that. Just want to just show you something on that. So even if you're not doing, you can watch. Those who are not doing Tadasana, the head balance, once we're in it, you're going to go into the wide spread pose with the head support and taking your head down. So just something to observe when you are practicing the head balance. And some of you may want to work with this. You don't have to kick up. So this is quite a spongy mat. So for a thin mat, you could fold it into 4. So this one, I wouldn't fold it into 4 because it's too spongy, you wobble a bit. So you can fold your mat. In fact, I'll come facing to you first. I hope you can all see me okay. Just here, make sure you're warm enough. So the interlacing, you interlace tightly at the web of the hands. And it's this shape, it's not this, and it's not that flat shape. So it's just like round, sort of like the top of an egg. This is the part that I wanted to show you, was that when you place your hands down, your elbows need to be below your shoulders. And it's just a very basic concept to understand why. Because if your elbows are wide and you go up, you are putting weight onto the outer edges of the elbows and you're straining. If you go up and your elbows are very close together, you're coming onto the inner edges of the elbows and you're straining. So your elbows you want to place down below your shoulders, and then your head rests down, the top of the head rests down. You move your hands towards your head, not your head towards your hands. So bring your hands in closer. And then I'll just show you from the side. Once you're in that position, you're pressing down firmly onto the forearms, down into the elbows. The wrists don't collapse, your head comes down. And then for some of us who aren't going up, we can also do this walk up. Lift your hips, straighten your legs, and you can walk your feet and not too far, just pause there. And then from here, when you lift your knees off the ground, the weight goes onto your head. This is where you really need to work into pressing into the forearms and lifting the shoulders away from the floor. So if some of you want to go into that, you can, but if you want to just hear a little bit more, you can also listen. If you want to do a Prasarita, listen, you can. Otherwise, just watch. This is in particular if anybody is experiencing any discomfort in the head balance. So we all have different lengths of our forearms. If when you're going up and you're experiencing a lot of pressure on your head, it could mean that your forearms in proportion are a little bit shorter. So I would give you, like there's quite an exaggerated example. Somebody's forearms are a bit shorter, imagine the floor here. So there we are, now we're on the floor. There's a lot of pressure on the head and therefore the neck. So that's when we would take 2 blankets and we'd put them in, one under that elbow and one under that elbow, not under the head. And that brings that even pressure, takes the pressure off your head. So that's the one way. Yeah, so check in, you can see there, Chloe. So now for some of us, we have much longer upper arms, I'm exaggerating. And now, when we go into the head balance, we're feeling a lot of strain in our shoulders. So with the strain in the shoulders then, there's that sort of gap where the head is, and we're really pressing into the form, it's crushing into the shoulders. We have one small, folded blanket then where the head is. So you're basically just filling in that space to make it even. Some of us don't have any of this, but it's just good to bear in mind that there are ways to make adjustments. So you can also do that, and you can look in the mirror, you lift your elbows up, and just check how it is. And if it is a typical sensation that you're feeling, when you're feeling a lot of pressure on your head, then we take the two folded blankets like this. They must be of the same height. So it's very important that they're the same height. So preferably the same type of blankets that are quite firm. So like that. I'll show you that way. So now that would be for somebody who has very short, well, shorter upper arms, okay? So now that blanket, you can see, is going to fill in that space. So when I come down, my head goes in between that support. And then when I come up, there's an even pressure. And for the other example, now when I've got much longer upper arms, I'm getting a lot of pressure in my shoulders. This is where this blanket is going to come to fill that space. So when I come down onto the support, your hands go underneath the blanket, like that. Head rests on the blanket. And then there's no pressure. So it's all even. So this is something you can work with in your own practice as well. You can apply it now if you like. And also message me, send me pictures or anything like that if you have any questions. And you can still use that support at the wall or however you usually practice. So for those of you going into the head balance, you can go up into the head balance. Otherwise, the widespread Prasarita. So make sure your elbows are below your shoulders. And there, Karina, when Chloe goes up, she mustn't adjust that when she's up. I can't see the base, but you always come down if you need to. So just see her elbows are below her shoulders. Very nice. Chloe, can you put your knuckles right against the base of the cupboard? You go right up against the cupboard. I can't really see your base, but let's just try that. Yes, that looks good. Make the blanket flatter, Chloe. A little bit flatter, it's too spongy. So for those of you who are up in the head balance, really tighten around your hips. Lengthen the inner groin up towards your inner ankles. Yes, that looks good, Chloe. Knuckles to the wall or the cupboard. The top of your head down now. And straighten your legs. Can I just pause there, walk in a bit, stay there, stay there. Corinne, mind your head out the way. And then you can bend your legs, Chloe, and then kick up towards the cupboard. Kick all the way up, all the way up. Well done. Very nice. And when you feel the weight on your head now, you must press onto your forearms, the bottom of your arms. You press down and you lift your shoulders up away from the floor. Very nice. Try not to wriggle. It looks great. If you are in the head balance, for some of you can put your feet into Ardha Uttanasana. Very nice, Chloe. Just keep your head down for a moment. Have a rest. Well done. So yeah, feet apart. If you're in Ardha Uttanasana. So if you can touch your heels together. And each toe, let each toe touch. And those in the widespread Prasarita pose, if you can hold onto your outer ankles, do so.
And then if you're in the shoulder balance, take your legs up, bring your feet together again. And see if you can come down either one leg at a time, or you bend your knees and come down slowly. So you engage your core a little bit as you slowly come down. If you can come down with straight legs, that's great. So in the widespread pose, come up to bring your hands below your shoulders, look forward. Come all the way up when you're done. So there's something else I'd just like to work with you on a little. So I know it's nice to be doing things a lot and not just watching. So what you can do while you're watching this, just sit, let yourself be able to see the device. You take the support and sit to the back wall, and you can sit in Ardha Uttanasana like this. And then just now, when you've had enough of that and my talking, you can take your feet apart like that, and you can sit up. So you're going to just sit, and you can even come back to Ardha Uttanasana. Hopefully I won't be that long. So the shoulder balance, which is very important to include in our practice. So some of you may have the yoga foams, and you may know the setup. There's the fourth one. So if you do have these, you will know that it's the 4 foams in that way. And that then we would put a blanket on top. So some of us don't have these 4 foams. Can you see that? Is it okay? A bit far, is it all right? Okay, so some of us don't have those 4 foams, so this is why I messaged to say about the blankets. So they don't have to be all the same, but just when you set up the support, you really want to make a firm sort of surface. So we want to use at least 3 or 4 blankets. So here it's like this one's slightly more fluffier, so I wouldn't put it at the top. I'd put it near the bottom or in the middle, so that we end up with a bit more of a solid surface. And that the round edge is going to be where your shoulder is. So that's quite a decent height. If you were using the foams, you would have a blanket on top. And then I mentioned the little hand towel, or you could use a sarong or a scarf. Especially those with long hair, it's nice to just put something where your head goes, so you don't end up sliding off the support. Okay, but Finding Nemo there, so it's great. And then your mat, just bring it onto the support, but you want a little bit of it sticking off. Okay, so I think get your support if you're wanting to do this. This is the shoulder balance. If you're not wanting to do it, you can do something else, but just at least get the setup ready if you are doing this. It wasn't very clear. So if you're not doing it, you're going to stay seated into that pose that I've put you in. And of course, if you're menstruating, you're not going to go up into the head balance. You can just stay in Ardha Uttanasana or Upavishta Konasana with your legs out. So now it takes a bit of height going up into this. So it's quite nice to have a bolster or something, or a block or foams that you're going to sit on to go on. So before you finalize your pose, I'd like to just add in something. When we go up, we generally take our legs up and over. So you could have your legs going up and over onto a chair if you have very tight hamstrings. So just look at this sort of setup. I'll talk about the strap in a moment, but this, when I go over into the support, my shoulders are on the support, and then my feet come onto the chair. So some of us will just be in that position. If your hamstrings, you know, they're flexible enough to take your feet all the way over, that's fine. If you're using one of these sort of chairs, you can even turn the chair to the side so that the back of the seat is not limiting. So it is a bit of a fiddle, but in this day and age with the Zoom classes, it's nice to just not leave all of these things out. So it's a bit of a fiddle, but that's kind of how we're going to end up. Don't go up into it, we're just setting up our support. You could also use the wall. Okay, so for those of you who regularly practice this, you can go up. And for those of you who are not regularly practicing, just wait for me so that you can see the mat is not all the way to the edge of the support. If you have a belt, just make the loop about shoulder width apart. So from shoulder to shoulder. If you don't, you will manage, but it's a lot easier with a belt. You'll see how it helps you to really lift up. If you're able to position your camera so I can see you, that would be very helpful. Glynis, that's great. I can see the base, which is good.
Kezzy,
Yes.
can I use the chair?
Of course, yes. So if you use the chair normally, that's perfect. Be going to use that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you know that with the bolster and all that, yeah. Okay. So then for so any neck complaints, don't go into this one. You're going to stay as I put you into Baddha Konasana or the legs apart or Upavishta Konasana at the wall. And then also you can message me privately about any sort of concerns. The belt, you can put, just to measure, it comes behind you so that your arms go, they can't go much more forward than that. But going up into it, you go up and with it on one arm. If you don't have the belt, it's not serious, but it is a great investment, especially, well, for many poses, but for this one, it's great. So when you are ready, you're going to keep the belt on one arm, sit on whatever support you've got in front. The reason why we have the support in front, if we don't, it's sometimes quite hard to really like sort of take off from there. So it can be anything, phones, some other blankets that you've got here. So the belt is on one arm. Lie back, slide your buttocks forward so that when you come down onto the support, only your head is on the floor and your shoulders are on the edge of the support. So the belt's still on one arm. Press down into the support that's near your buttocks. Bend your knees and roll up and over. Take your feet onto the chair, or if you're not using the chair, your feet will go to the floor. So into Halasana, or supported Halasana onto the chair or to the floor. So stay there for a moment, press down into your toes on the floor or the support. Slide your shoulders away from you. So you're on the top of your shoulders. Have your hands facing down. Your arms are straight. They're away from you. And now take the strap. See if you can get it onto the upper arm of the other arm. So now that basically the strap's on both of the arms, palms facing down. If it feels very tight, so maybe we become super talented yoga practitioners, you can just loosen the belt a little. Press down into your elbows. Try not to have the buckle on the skin. And then straighten your arms again. Palms facing down. Get the sides of the body to lift up. So you're lengthening from the shoulders to the elbows. And from the elbows to the wrists and into the fingers. So just pausing there. Extending your arms away from you. Okay, now bring your hands onto your lower back. I can't see the base of everybody. That's a little bit tricky. You'll have to listen to the instructions. Just remember, if you need to come down, any pain or aches in the shoulders or neck, just come down. And Henry and Upavishta Konasana, you can turn to each side. Go to your right side. You can take your hand towards that foot, even holding onto the shin. And then hold that for about a minute and do the other side. So now, supporting your back, see if you can take one leg up at a time. Press down into your elbows. Your elbows need to be on the floor, so press down onto the elbows. Very nice. Thank you, Chloe. So now when your legs are up, you can check your the median line. So that inner line, which helps with the balance. So if you're looking forward, you can look towards your sternum, that it's in line with your navel. in line with your pubic bone, and then all the way up to your inner ankles. So Jade, if you are in Upavishta Konasana, your legs are out wide, you can just go to the one side and extend forward. I can't really see your base, I can't see what you do, but you can extend forward to the one side. Oh, there you go. Sorry, you're in Baddha Konasana. That's perfect. And now turn your hands, for those in shoulder balance, turn your hands so your fingers are pointing up towards your feet. Just become aware of your hands on your back now. So for those of you who are super flexible, when you push your hands into your chest to get your chest more towards your chin, sometimes your legs throw over. So what you need to do is then find how the heel of the palm is pressing in quite a lot. But now think of where the root of the knuckles or the root of the fingers are, where the knuckles are. Press the knuckles into the back as well. So your hands are flat. And now it's as if the kidneys must now lift up away from your hands towards your feet. The rib cage lifts up away from the hands towards your feet. There's a compaction around your hips, tightening the outer hips towards the inner hips. And really lengthen now from the inner groin all the way up to the inner ankles. See if you can let your ankle bones touch, and as if somebody is holding around your ankles, they're lifting you up higher, lighter, all the way up towards the ceiling. Nice, Kareem. And then bring one leg down at a time, or if you practice frequently, try bend your knees, coming down with your knees together. Come all the way down, roll back down onto your prop. And then when you're ready, you can come all the way out. Let the buttocks come down onto whatever prop it was that you went up onto. And then slide so that your shoulders and your head comes off the support. So now you're on that a little hand towel or whatever you use. And you end up that only your hips and your buttocks is on the shoulder support. The rest of your body is flat on the floor. You can bend your legs to put them in Baddha Konasana, feet together. So if you are on the floor and you've been sitting in Baddha Konasana, just put your feet onto the floor, Henry, bring your knees up to your chest, and just give them a hug around your shins, lift your chest. Roll to your right when you're ready to come all the way up and prepare for Shavasana, to relax. So take something under your back of your head and remember to really take care when you lie down into this pose. And when I say take care, it's about the alignment, so not just flopping down. See that you're lying or positioned yourself evenly on your mat. Make sure you're warm enough. I think winter has finally arrived. Something to cover your eyes if you have. So try to, I know even if you're in a hurry, trying to just even a couple of minutes Shavasana if you need to shoot off. Close your eyes. And before you settle completely, feel how the back body, the shoulders need to broadly move down your back, and your buttocks flesh must release away from you towards your feet, and then soften the body completely. Let the front of the body melt and absorb towards the back of the body. Release any tension that's on the skin of your face. Let it soften from the center line, as if it's melting towards the outer edges. And with that, let your eyes follow deeply, releasing away from your front eyelids towards the back of your head. Let the lips be full and soft. And the mouth cavity vast. And bring breath awareness to the abdomen now, so to the lower abdomen region. As you exhale, allow the breath to become longer, so more focused on the exhalation. And with each longer exhalation, allow the abdomen to softly spread back to the back body and into the earth. And now let go even of the breath. Let go completely. Now allow the inhalation to become more focused and longer, and just sigh out the exhalation. Bend your legs and bring your hands onto your lower abdomen. When you're ready, roll to your right and just stay there for a moment in that fetal position. Bring your knees up high into your chest. So lie on that side, on your right side. So in yoga philosophy, the path consists of what BKS Iyengar refers to as the two wings of yoga. So abhyasa, which is practice, and vairagya, which is detachment. So abhyasa requires informed effort and knowledge. Vairagya involves reflection, stillness, and surrender. The two wings must work in concert with each other. Use your left hand to come and sit all the way up. Just sit on something for a moment. Bring your hands together in a prayer position. Lengthen and lift your spine and release your head to your heart. And have a moment to yourself. Let's move through this way with a deep sense of love, gratitude, and peace. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. So much love to you all. Keep warm.